Hello and welcome to Game Theory. I'm your host, Sam Vecenie. Tonight, we are going to dive deep into the Lakers' first loss of the season to the Phoenix Suns. And then we are going to talk about Paolo Banchero's best game yet in his NBA career. But first, let's hit the music.
They do have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Way downtown.
Bang! Bang! What is this going to be? Wow! Are you kidding me?
Hello and welcome to the Game Theory Podcast. I'm your host, Sam Vecenie. But if you watch the tape, what you will see completely orchestrated this game. What's going on, guys? We're here. We're going to talk about all of the action in the game tonight. I focused on three games in particular. I focused first on Indiana and Orlando. Got a great game there, a crazy, insane, up and down roller coaster of a game where Paolo goes for 37 in the first half, and then Indiana fights back in the third quarter, and then Orlando kind of claws it back near the end. Really, really fun game. I'm glad that I chose to kind of focus my time and energy on that one early. Then I did a little bit of Bucks and Celtics. We'll talk about some of the things we continue to see from the Bucks, unfortunately, throughout the course of their struggles here in the early season. And then finally, I dove deep into the game we are going to start with, the Los Angeles Lakers and the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns win this game 105-109, handing the Los Angeles Lakers their first loss of the season. Kind of a strange game. The Lakers come out absolutely on fire. Looking through my notes here, I believe I have them up 26-8 through 7 minutes of this game. And then the Suns just methodically clawed this thing back in a really creative, interesting way. I thought it was super, super sharp the way that they defended. I thought they were defending reasonably well, even when they were giving up points. And we'll kind of talk about that in a second. Basically, they could defend everybody outside of Anthony Davis, and Nurkic really, really did not give them much tonight as the starting center. Just a few quick little notes before we dive into what I like most from Phoenix in this game. Anthony Davis was a monster, obviously. I think I had him with 16 in the first quarter. Goes for 29, 15, 3 assists, 3 blocks. Total joke how good he was tonight. Rui Hachimura goes for 20 and 10. I thought he was really effective on offense. The way he cleaned up the offensive glass, I thought was really impressive. And then Austin Reeves was great for the Lakers tonight. He goes for 23, 8, 3 assists, goes 5 for 9 from 3, consistently was their best offensive weapon as a perimeter player. It felt like D'Angelo Russell missed some open shots. LeBron James, honestly, I was kind of wondering if LeBron looked sick tonight. Just didn't really have it. Goes 3 for 14, does end up late in the game, extending his long, 1,200 game double-digit scoring streak. Congrats to him on that. Really, for the Lakers to end up as close as they were to the mark for a Suns team that I think is actually really good. If you've been listening to some of the preseason stuff that we've talked about on this channel, I really have liked what I've seen from the Suns in the preseason. I think the Mike Budenholzer experience has done wonders for them offensively and defensively. So for the Lakers to get a catastrophic LeBron performance that might be his worst of the season, and then get absolutely zero from their bench tonight. I thought that Hayes was basically invisible and had a few really catastrophic turnovers. Christie made a 3. He made a really nice layup on a cut where he kind of caught Beal back door on, I think in semi-transition. But outside of that, he didn't really give anything. Connect didn't really give them anything tonight. So by and large, it was not an impressive game from the Lakers, but this is where we want to give credit to the Suns for what they did in order to stop that. Devin Booker and Kevin Durant both go for over 30. They were awesome offensively in this game. Royce O'Neal made a couple of threes, has 9 rebounds, 4 assists. Bradley Beal didn't shoot it well, but we'll talk about Beal throughout the video that we're going to break down. Tyus Jones, I thought, kept the ball moving. He's done a really nice job so far as a point guard for them. I also have liked his engagement defensively to this point. But what I do want to talk about is that defensive side of the court. I think the Suns, to this point this year, of the 4 games that the Lakers have played, especially in this game, have done the best job of making it harder for the Lakers by consistently guarding at the point of attack, trying to disrupt them getting into their actions, and then also bumping them off the ball as well, making sure that they are aggressively hitting their off-ball screeners to make it difficult for them to get into everything they want to do under JJ Redick. So let's talk about some of the things that I saw from the Suns tonight that I really like defensively, and that can be where we kind of dive into the tape here. So the Suns, this is just the first possession of the game for them on defense. The Lakers are going to run just a little screen there from Russell, a little rub screen. For AD to kind of come down and try and get Nurkic on the block. Nurkic, obviously very strong. Going to be difficult to be able to move him. So you have to establish position early. You have to try and get him away. I mean, look how far Nurkic moves AD back. And I just loved the Suns' engagement from the moment that they took the court tonight. Look at Devin Booker here. So this is setting up as LeBron, is going to set this little screen here. Reeves is going to kind of act like he's going to set this screen for D'Angelo to come across, and then he's going to cut. And you're just going to see Devin Booker here, fully engaged, hand up, making it hard, making it so there's no chance that Reeves is going to be able to get that ball. Then LeBron comes over, sets a screen here for Russell. Then he rolls to the basket quickly. Bradley Beal has never been some monster defender, but look at his engagement. Quick reaction there, arm up. You see Tyus Jones. He's in that passing lane. So we're already 7 seconds left on the shot clock here. So AD, empty side. The Lakers are probably generally comfortable given how well AD is playing so far this season. But again, cut through from D'Angelo. Tyus is available. This results in the exact shot that the Suns want them to take on an opening possession. Fantastic defensive possession. So now we're going to go to the second quarter because the Lakers absolutely obliterated them in the first quarter. The second quarter, though, was really good on defense for the Suns. They only give up 14 points. They also only give up 22 points in the fourth quarter. And what we're going to see here is just the impact of Ryan Dunn. Ryan Dunn just fighting through actions, right? Ryan Dunn, just point blank, is one of the best college perimeter defenders I've ever evaluated. Full scale, like one of the best college wing defenders I've ever evaluated. I'm in no way surprised that he's been able to come in and make an early impact for them. I'm surprised the offense is as somewhat capable as it is. He's still not like dribbling in the half court or anything like that. He's not creating shots, but he's occasionally knocking in threes. He's hitting, I think, like 40% from three. Even after today, he went 1 for 3. I still think he's right around that 40% mark through 4 games. But more than anything, he's just really active on defense. So they're going to go and set this little screen here. They went under most of LeBron's actions tonight as a screener, which said to me like they were pretty good with LeBron shooting and getting a late closeout. And just look at him, though. He doesn't die on that screen. He gets back into the play, gets the high closeout, gets that contested 3-point shot. Next, look at Bradley Beal here. Like Bradley Beal is guarding Dalton Connect here. In Washington, Bradley Beal was not always completely locked in. But look at He's low. He's trying to make things harder. He stops any sort of potential entry pass to connect. I think that's what it seems like the Lakers are going for, is a potential entry to connect there, or potentially a dribble handoff. Beal does a great job of denying both through his activity there. And then Hayes like kind of wraps around and throws this goofy pass. And Mason Plumlee was pretty solid tonight too. I thought he did a really good job. This play, though, is one that I tweeted, and this is one of my favorites that I've seen from a rookie so far this season, just point blank. Ryan Dunn is so active on defense. Just look at him jumping, trying to contest that inbounds pass. Then we're going to get into a zoom action. Just goes under the screen. He's there. A lot of defenders here, cough, cough, the Milwaukee Bucks, basically every Bucks defender right now. When D'Angelo Russell would clip them on this screen here, they would choose not to fight through it. Instead, Dunn's like, no, I'm going to defend him. I'm rejecting this switch. This is a bad idea for us if we switch this. And part of why they're capable of doing this is that D'Angelo Russell is not very vertical and he's just not a great finisher. So Beal can come over, be able to contest there. They can have Plumlee. Plumlee would be the one that would come over, given that he's guarding Hayes in the corner. But Dunn's like, no, we're not doing this. We are not switching. I'm staying attached to LeBron here. Then fights over the top of a dribble handoff. That results in like a kick ball from Mason Plumlee to reset the play. I mean, this is fantastic stuff. This is what you want from a defensive difference maker off the bench. Ryan Dunn has been that exactly so far. He played like some of the closing minutes tonight, and I thought he was really good there. We might get to those at some point. Here, again, just look at Bradley Beal. Like these second and third efforts from Beal didn't happen all that often in Washington, and then you just get Ryan Dunn just locking LeBron up here. This is one of the best defensive possessions I've seen against the Lakers this season. You can just see, look at Beal engaged. Kind of has his hand on D'Angelo Russell there. Look at these two communicating. Tyus Jones and Bradley Beal. They're communicating, hey, what are we going to do? Okay, Beal, I'm going to take connect. I'm going to stay high, hands high. Then I'm going to go through, reject the dribble handoff. And then Ryan Dunn's going to fight over the top of this screen, stay attached to LeBron. Booker's going to come in and dig into his handle off of Rui. I mean, this is the way defense is supposed to work. It's swarming, it's aggressive, it's physical, it's tough. This is awesome. This is awesome stuff. And they ended up, I think, calling like a goofy foul there. Or no, it was a shot clock violation is what it was. So fantastic work there by Phoenix too. Again, Dunn, this time on Austin Reeves. Cuts off the angle, gets up like right as Reeves is going to shoot it, gets his hand right in there. Then he helps off of Reeves, closes off that angle here, which means that Durant is going to be able to turn and slide this way, knowing that he can be the baseline player because Dunn is here to help middle. He gets the great contest there on Rui. Now we're going to get Gabe Vincent bringing the ball up the court. Beal again, locked on to Austin Reeves, fights over the top of the screen. And now Royce O'Neal, the help from Mason Plumlee. Part of the issue of having, or at least what we learned tonight for the Lakers, and I don't know if everybody will defend them this way, having Gabe Vincent, Max Christie, and Jackson Hayes all on the court at once, is it really allows teams to sell out helping and then helping the helper, right? So LeBron's going to spin here, and Mason Plumlee knows that he can help off because he's already got Kevin Durant leaning on Jackson Hayes here, helping the helper. Yeah, LeBron can throw that ball to Max Christie if he wants, and Christie's going to lift here to try and get away. I would venture that's a shot the Lakers are pretty comfortable with. I'm sorry, the Suns are pretty comfortable with. They've made their choices. I think they did a really good job of making their choices tonight of what they were willing to give up and what they weren't willing to give up. Again, Dunn out on LeBron here. 22 seconds left in the third quarter. They switch it. Dunn blocks the shot, helps off of, who is that? Max Christie again. The Lakers tonight, or the Suns tonight, basically decided, look, if you want to hit kickouts to Max Christie, you go for it. You know what I mean? You feel comfortable doing that at the end of the day. Whether or not that was the right call, it could have borne out that it was the wrong call. But at the end of the day, they made the bet that it was the right call, and Christie did not really hurt them outside of that layup and 1 3-pointer. In part because the Lakers didn't hit them on those kickouts. So what I like here is they're in like semi-transition. They're communicating here. When we watch the Bucks, watch them communicate on, or not communicate on, who's in transition. Look at Beal and Booker here. They're talking. Okay, Booker, you're going to take the ball. I'm going to shoot out to connect. Royce O'Neal, you stay with LeBron. They're talking. Booker stays in front. Screen. And again, fantastic help from Ryan Dunn off of Jackson Hayes here. Look at Dunn. He's just sitting here waiting. Dunn was a fantastic weak side defender in college. He's continued to do that already. He gets there for the contest, tips the ball out to Tyus Jones for the rebound. Then this one, LeBron around the screen. Feels like to me, LeBron at this point is a little bit self-conscious about the shot. Probably didn't really want to take the jumper at this point because he had gone, from 3? He was 2 for 5 from 3, but it just, he goes 3 for 14 from the field. Probably didn't want to step up and shoot that. Dunn again goes under the screen here. And when you go under the screen, it closes that pocket. They've had a lot of success this year, the Lakers, hitting little pocket passes, either from Austin Reeves or LeBron to Anthony Davis. But when you go under, it closes the pocket, which means now you're crowded if you're LeBron. This also allows Plumlee to get back. You can see here, Devin Booker's communicating to Kevin Durant, hey, you've got a man here in the corner. Keep cognizant. And then look at Beal. Beal's engaged. He gets the steal. Ends up scoring. And I think this might be the final defensive play that we grabbed here. Beal, again, fights over. Second effort. Third effort on the contest. That leads to this jumper. Bradley Beal's a guy where when he was in Washington, if he didn't make shots, it was typically a rough game where he was not all that impactful. Tonight in Phoenix, I thought he was really good, even though he shot 1 for 7 from the field. You do not have to score to be an impactful player. Ryan Dunn is showing that. Bradley Beal showed it tonight. Royce O'Neal has shown it throughout his career that he's willing to take on tough defensive matchups. You can trust that these two dudes, Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, are going to get you your offense. And when one of those guys is out or when one of those guys is off the court, Bradley Beal can do it too. But when all three of them are on the court, you need Beal to defend. I think he did a great job tonight, giving second, third efforts, getting around screens, fighting, scratching, clawing, and not quitting on plays. He gets caught on that screen. Seriously, in Washington, he might have called out a peel switch. He might have called out, hey, I need help. Instead, he fights back in front here of Austin Reeves. And I think he deserves a lot of credit for what he's done here in this game. I think he did a really good job. Austin Reeves played great. He dealt with Reeves decent amount. He dealt with Connect. He dealt with a few different guys, but I thought he was really aggressive. Final thing I just wanted to call out here. JJ Redick is stealing from the Brad Stevens playbook. This is the winner set, baby. What is the winner set? So I'll let it play through first. Russell gets the ball, chucks it half court to LeBron, cross court to LeBron, who's there kind of posting up. Sometimes you run an action to get this guy on the backside free. LeBron's so strong that he can just like physically overpower Royce. So I like this setup for them. But what happens here is you set this screen here. Reeves kind of comes through. Then AD sets another screen and Reeves comes through here. Ball's just going all the way to the backside to LeBron here. It's a killer action. It leads to an open shot. Again, I will call out Bradley Beal at least gets like something of a late contest here on an action that's really, really hard to guard. He does end up kind of turning his back to Reeves, which is not ideal. Looks at the ball here. That gives him that split second that he needs, Reeves, to be able to sprint and get past it. But I like the second effort here. It's a great set. I love this action. It's one of my favorite end of game sets that teams run. This is a big one that Brad Stevens used to run all the time. So JJ is stealing it. I would not be surprised to see them run it again at some point late in the year. So keep this one in the back of your playbook if you're a Lakers fan. Reeves misses with down 3 with 36 seconds left. Look, there were some other things here with the Lakers, right? AD gets fouled late on a drive that doesn't get called. It was insane that they didn't call that foul on Mason Plumlee. There were some other goofy things that happened, right? But overall, it felt like to me that the Suns deserved this win. They really did. I thought they played better than the Lakers did tonight. When LeBron James is going to go 3 for 14 and D'Angelo Russell's going to miss open threes, you're going to have days like that. You're going to have days where it doesn't go super well. Okay. So my favorite thing of the night, absolute favorite thing that I saw tonight was Paolo Banchero. Fantastic game from Paolo. But before we get in to breaking down Paulo's game, shout out to the folks at Prizepicks. Prizepicks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prizepicks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Prizepicks offers weekly promotions that can lead to big payouts like Taco Tuesday. Each Tuesday, which by the way is tomorrow, Prizepicks discounts select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value to your lineups. If you think somebody like Justin Jefferson is going to get more than 83.5 yards, if you think that someone like Najee Harris is going to run wild on the New York Giants, you absolutely cook up those hot takes and you run your game on Prizepicks. Download the app today. Use that code Game Theory to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, download the app today and use code Game Theory to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prizepicks, run your game. Okay, let's talk about Paolo. Paolo Banchero was unreal tonight. There is not another way to put it. This dude played the best game of his career, just point blank. I have certainly never seen him play better. He had that unbelievable playoff game. What was it? Game 6 or 7 against the Cavs where he was fantastic. It was game 7 where he dropped 38 on them. He had 39 in game 5. But look, Paolo, I believe this is Paolo's first 50-point game. I'm going through his game logs now. He didn't have 40 in his rookie year. He had 43 as a high last year. And then this year, he goes for 50 tonight. But the thing about Paulo's 50 tonight that I want to call out before we even jump into the tape. And we're absolutely going to jump into the tape here and talk through this. What I loved about Paolo's 50 tonight was that it almost never seemed like it was a selfish 50. It never seemed like it was a thing where he was playing away from his teammates. He was getting everybody involved. You can look at the 9 assists and you can see that obviously. He has 13 rebounds as well in this game, but he was unbelievable from like an expected assists perspective. It was great. He was trying to get guys open and they missed corner threes. Every time they decided to double, it felt like to me that he just made the right pass, and we'll talk through a few moments of that. But I thought Paolo in his game tonight, this was the best I've ever seen him play. I've seen Paolo play, God knows, well over 100 games at this point. It is by far the best I've ever seen Paolo play. He was unbelievable, and we're just going to talk through kind of how Orlando got him there. So this one, a lot of empty side actions early, which isn't a surprise. You know, the league loves to run a lot of empty side actions. This season, it seems like they're running even more of them, to be honest with you. So this one, he just sizes up Siakam. So what is Paolo looking at here? Like, what is he seeing when he's trying to get to a pull-up, right? I think that he is looking at this leg here. Is this leg back? And thus, is he not going to be able to get a full contest on my jumper? As soon as he puts that leg back, Siakam, Paolo knows that he is dead and that he can get that shot. Now, look, we need to just briefly talk about how Paolo got these shots tonight. Many of them were mid-range jumpers. Paolo, as a mid-range shooter, has been good, really good throughout the course of his career. Not like monstrous. He's not Kevin Durant as a mid-range shooter. Tonight he shot like Kevin Durant as a mid-range shooter. And I don't know if that will last, but we can keep running through here and just talking it over. Again, screen, beautiful little pocket pass, sick Euro step, right? I mean, just no help whatsoever from Turner. Turner probably can't help there given who he's guarding, but you'd maybe like to see after the Euro that you get just like a little bit of a late help there. This one, I mean, just putting them absolutely through the blender, right? So when does Paolo decide to pull up here? Right as soon as Turner takes that step, he realizes, I think, that, okay, if I set him up like that again, he's going to step back like that. And he does. He immediately steps back like that because he knows that Paolo can beat him in a straight line if he has to. One other issue I just do want to call out here. Can't have your hands down against Paolo. Can't have him down. Have to be willing to contest this shot. Hey, I get it that the Pacers probably want mid-range jumpers from Paolo, but you can't have your hands down totally and not contest. Jalen Suggs was a monster tonight. He ended up with 25 points. I thought he was absolutely terrific. But again, to speak to just the unselfishness, right? Paolo is just taking what comes to him in this game. He's not trying to do too much. He's trying to keep it simple. I believe that this is a zone possession from Indiana. Indiana is just trying to guard the three-point line. This 3-2 zone that a lot of teams are running this year, I kind of hate it across the board. I don't know why teams are doing it. It's giving up corner threes. Even if it's not giving up necessarily corner threes, it's allowing teams to drive from the corner and get easy penetration, which then leads to other guys having to help and kicking out. I'm not a 3-2 fan for the NBA. Paolo just absolutely goes through Pascal Siakam in transition, draws the foul. Block out here. And then again, just this unselfishness to make this pass. Sees Wendell Carter. Paulo's always been a fantastic, fantastic passer. Has always been a great passer. The thing that sometimes drives me a little bit crazy about Paolo is he holds the ball. But tonight, when he's going like this, it does not matter. I mean, Jesus. I just don't know what you do about that, right? Like, early screen here from Mo Wagner. Isaiah Jackson is just not strong enough for him. I mean, look at that bump there. He's going to bump him at the foul line here. And Jackson's going to end up, by the time he gets his momentum back, all the way here. Paolo bumped him like 12 feet. Are you kidding me? Dude is a mismatch freak. Dude is a nightmare to deal with in transition. Quick little stagger action into a ball screen, sets up an easy pocket pass. I like that Ben Shepherd is there in the gap, but Paulo's just feeling it, and Obi Toppin is not quite big or long enough to really get into his space. Does a great job leaping and contesting, but when Paulo's feeling it like this, it's just going to be a problem. We're still in the first quarter, by the way. That's the crazy thing. Gets the early switch here onto Isaiah Jackson. I felt a little bit bad for Ben Shepherd. This was a matchup that the Magic absolutely tried to get pretty regularly in this game. I like that Shepherd here and Toppin, they communicate a switch. Still, Paolo ends up taking this mid-range jumper, drilling it. Again, Shepherd on Cole Anthony here. Cole Anthony comes to set the screen. They force the switch onto Shepherd. Toppin's kind of waiting. Can I help? Can I help? I mean, Shepherd just can't really do anything to stop Paolo from getting where he wants. Again, Paolo gets the switch onto Miles Turner. And this is just an absolutely sick pass to Franz Wagner. So he gets this switch after just that little screen there. It's not really a switch there. Paulo's gotten the switch already onto Turner. But just this little screen here. Turner gets back. Get this spin back. Why is Franz Wagner so open? It's because Siakam feels like he has to be here to help onto Carter, is my guess, which opens up that pass. I just want to confirm that real quick. That Siakam sees the switch. Yep, he sees the switch there. Carter is on TJ McConnell, which means Siakam has to come through, help off. Yeah, I would love to see Naismith maybe like shoot down there and be ready for that and make Anthony Black make a shot, but it's a tough spot. It's a really, really tough spot. Paolo, again, just on Pascal Siakam. Money. When he's feeling it like this, there's just nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do to stop him. Goes, gets this contested rebound, drives the ball up the court, tries to attack Tyrese Halliburton there, which is fun. Just it's like, this is the matchup I want, right? So he sees that Halliburton's coming out after just this little mini rub action here from Jalen Suggs. Siakam stays attached, but he's too far away, and Halliburton wants to get back, obviously. He doesn't want that matchup. I mean, just absolutely sick. Still the second quarter. Again, he had 37. Super high ball screen. Love the screen. Walk-in three. Like, this is the kind of stuff that Gary Harris does that I love. He goes and sets this screen so high up the court here. Gives Paolo the space to operate. They now have to figure out, because Harris is like absolutely destroyed Naismith. All right, what are we going to do here? How are we going to guard this? Which one of us is going to take Paolo? And you have to decide in a split second. You have to decide so quickly. Okay, who's going to go and take him? Who's going to go and get him? Too late. Ball screen. Naismith gets through, does a good job. Then they run a quick little flare, drills it. So what is this little thing here? So Paolo, ball screen, goes around, kicks it out here to Jalen Suggs, and Wendell Carter's just going to flip. He's going to flip this screen. This isn't like a set play. This is just Wendell Carter seeing that Aaron Naismith has his head turned this way and that Paolo can go around and hit this. Turner's calling it out. He hears it immediately, but it's too late. Wendell Carter's a really good screener, and Paolo's release point is too high. This is by far my favorite play of Paolo's game today. Not even a question, not even close. Paolo is defending. He's got somebody in the corner here that he's guarding. He sees that Turner is rolling. This is after a ball screen. Turner's rolling. Siakam's in the corner here, so he's guarding Siakam. But he sees that Turner is rolling, and as the low man on the opposite side, he has tagging responsibilities. Miles Turner has a full head of steam. That is elite level weak side defense for somebody like Paolo Banchero, who's not overly long. Like, he has a 7-foot wingspan and he's a big, strong dude. This is textbook. This is exactly what you want from Paolo. Meets him in the air, straight up and down. Turner doesn't even complain that it's a foul, despite how physical it was. And then we just get Paolo coming up. He's got the mismatch in transition, drills it over Nembhard. And then finally, just a quick little switch or a quick little screen. No switch there, but they're just like, we got to get this ball out of his hands immediately. We can't deal with this anymore. Hits the hockey pass from KCP down to Wendell Carter. He played the right way today in every way, shape, and form. He played the right way today. He was fantastic. 10 minutes left in the third quarter now. Paolo, backspin, and again, just sees he's got Gary Harris open. Let's hit him, right? Why is Harris open? So Carter, that's just like a little, I think I would call this just like a stack pick and roll, right? So you can see it's almost like a sideline stack pick and roll where Carter goes and sets the screen. Banchero's coming here, and then Carter is going to try and like roll and bump Siakam here while Harris gets out to that 3-point line. He absolutely is open. Siakam has no idea where Gary Harris is right now. His head is completely turned to Paolo. Paolo recognizes it and just drills Harris in the corner. His recognition was on point tonight. His vision was on point tonight. Gets in the passing lane defensively. Easy kick ahead to Mo Wagner. He's just super locked in. He's extremely locked in defensively. Fourth quarter now, 6 minutes left. Notice Anthony Black is on the court. Anthony Black played a great fourth quarter tonight. He ended up with 8 points in the fourth quarter, drilled a couple of threes. He was awesome. Played super hard defensively. He is clearly turning into an extremely useful piece for the Orlando Magic. Anthony Black has been fantastic to start this season off the bench for Orlando. The numbers are like probably like 9 points per game, something like that, 9.5 points per game. But he passes, he defends, plays like 20 minutes a night. He's been terrific to start the year, along with Jalen Suggs. But again, Paolo, look at this. This is a simple horn set, right? So for people who don't know what horns is, so horns is going to be this setup here. You can do a number of different actions because the court is very well spaced in this action, or in this just basic play setup. They enter the ball to Paolo here. Anthony Black goes away. I think he ends up kind of cutting to the rim off of a Suggs screen. Then you get into like this DHO action. Two teams usually do one of two things off of this cut in this screen. Some will have Suggs come set a screen for Paolo here, and Paolo will go around the screen. Or you can do what they do, which is have Suggs come off that screen and take a dribble handoff from Paolo. And then you can get Paolo into the middle of the court on the pocket pass if you know the team is going over the dribble handoff. I love here how Banchero recognizes that Toppin is like full scale trying to get back into this play and recovery. So he just stops and he's like, okay, I'm set. I can get the ball right where I want it, right at the free throw line, right? Step back, nasty jab step to totally freeze him. Rebound for Paolo again. 5 minutes left in this game now. Tight game. Pacers still up 3 after a great comeback in the third. Just goes through their defense, starts talking. Pacers still up 3 with 4 minutes left. Look at Naismith. Naismith is talking. I think he's yelling to let him know what's coming behind him as well. Part of what's fun about ghost screen actions, which is what this is. So KCP is going to come around, fake like he's going to set a screen, then just go around. Part of the goal is that you're getting, hopefully, Halliburton to stop here and then kind of bump into his own defender. As soon as he bumps into that defender, creates a wide open kick out to Suggs in the corner, because watch Siakam. Siakam sees this open driving lane right here, and he's like, oh shit, I have to go help. Perfect pass right in the shooting pocket. Suggs, again, was great tonight. He missed that shot, but he ended up going 25 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 6 for 13 from 3. They don't win the game without Jalen Suggs for sure. Anthony Black misses this. Again, just a monster rebound here from Suggs. They find Banchero, who's got the Ben Shepherd mismatch off of the offensive rebound. I mean, just kind of unlucky on some level, right? And just goes through Shepherd. Shepherd's unfortunately just not strong enough for somebody like Paolo. Still 112-111 Pacers with 3 minutes left. Get the kick out. Jab. All the hesitations. Just all of the hesitations everywhere. It's so hard to stay in front of him when he's in this rhythm like this. Jab. Hang dribble. Crossover between the legs. It's just hard to deal with all those moves. He's slicing, he's dicing, he's moving through. Now it's tied, 43 seconds left. Run like a double screen at the top, and he hits the behind the back pass to Suggs. They eventually get it to Anthony Black, who drills the 3. That's the biggest shot of the night. Didn't come from Paolo, but it came from Paolo utilizing his gravity to get a hockey assist here. Look at how many dudes here are around Paolo and engaging in Paolo. 1, 2, 3. Then we've got 2-on-2 here. Nobody on the guy that's hit 6 threes already. I love Suggs' patience here. Forces the closeout from Nemhard. It's got to be a flyby. Forces the help up from Shepherd and trusts his player, despite the fact that he's made 6 threes, trusts his teammate, Anthony Black, who throughout his career has not been a great shooter, but trusts his teammate to come in and make that shot. Drills it. Game winner for Anthony Black. Well deserved. He's been great to start the season. Yeah, the Magic look really good. The Magic are 3-1. They're 2-0 at home. They've done a really, really good job so far. The Pacers, I mean, this was I thought they played pretty well, especially in the third quarter, really. I would say the third quarter was the quarter where they dominated this game. But they're sitting here at 1-3. The Magic have done just an absolutely great job this season of weaponizing Paolo, of getting their guards involved like Suggs and Anthony Black. KCP is just going to take some time. And even when he does take time on offense, he's still been really, really valuable on the defensive end. This was a huge, huge win. Okay. We're going to bump around the league now a little bit, just kind of bounce around and talk through a couple of things. First, I do want to talk about the Bucks, and we'll, of course, just look at a little bit of tape. We're not going to do anything crazy here tape-wise. The Bucks end up losing to the Boston Celtics 119-108. If you watched the stream yesterday, we broke down a lot of stuff with the Boston Celtics, or with the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm sorry. The Milwaukee Bucks defensively were a train wreck over the weekend, playing Chicago and Brooklyn. And in part, it was like laziness a little bit to me. It was not a willingness to fight through screens, not a willingness to give second and third efforts. Communication has been kind of a mess for them this season, but also they just look kind of slow. When you watch them, they look a little bit slow. I will say that tonight I thought was a step in the right direction. I know they gave up 119 to Boston. Boston's going to do that to people. Like, Boston's just an absurdly good team. Boston goes 18 for 47 from 3. Jason Tatum only has 15 points, but Peyton Pritchard goes off for 28. Jaylen Brown, though, is the guy that I think I want to talk about most, because Jaylen Brown's athleticism really showed up, I felt like, against Milwaukee. Let's just kind of go through a couple of these clips just to talk through again what I'm seeing with Milwaukee. So, screen from Tatum onto Lillard. I just don't know where Damian Lillard is going there, if I'm being honest. So Tatum goes, sets this little step up. Trent engages here. It feels like Milwaukee is trying to fight over the top of screens, even guard to guard. They're not really switching a ton. I don't know why Dame turned his back to Jason Tatum there. I mean, he's never been the best defender, but I just don't know. I don't know what that was. This is something I want to call out too. I didn't have much ire for Giannis yesterday. I don't think he's been as good defensively as we've seen him be in the past. I think he's been a little bit slow as well to start the season on defense. Don't think he's been quite as engaged on the weak side as we've seen previously. And then on the ball, he is completely down in a stance here. This is not a closeout. And Jaylen Brown just dusts him. Jaylen misses the shot. And look, Giannis has always been a much better off-ball, weak side defender than he's been an on-ball defender. But I also can't really remember many guys just straight dusting him like that. Lopez does a great job getting the contest, but There's just not many times I can remember anything like that from him. Here, I like that the Bucks are communicating in transition now. You see Lillard say, I will pick up Jaylen Brown. He's taking the responsibility. That was something that just did not happen in their 2 games over the weekend. It allows Lopez to be nearer the basket, to deal with Al Horford, who's a better matchup for him. But where's the help? Where's anybody to come and help out? I get that it's the Celtics, but Giannis is in total no man's land here. His length is cutting off a potential pass. But if Jaylen Brown wanted to pass this over the top to Jason Tatum, he'd be able to do that here. And that'd be a really hard closeout even for Giannis with his length, because his back is totally turned to Tatum here. Again, Giannis is so far from their problems that I don't want to harp on things too much. But I will just note that I think Giannis has not been the defensive difference maker that we've seen typically from him over the course of his career. Jaylen Brown here. I mean, that's just tough. Taurean Prince has really struggled with his foot speed so far this season. If you remember, Josh Giddey got him a couple of times in Chicago, or against Chicago. I think that was in Milwaukee, actually. Just blowing by Taurean in transition. Here, Pritchard gets the kick out. Giannis just very heavy on the closeout. Feel like I kind of crushed everyone other than Giannis yesterday, so I wanted to at least be, fair to everybody. And to be clear, the reason that Dame kind of has to stay relatively attached here is because Peyton Pritchard has wrecked them already today. But look, here's the other thing too about Boston. These kind of things are the exact problem that Boston forces teams into, right? If you get a screen against Boston and Boston's able to drive into the lane, who do you help off of? Probably Horford, but Horford's a 40% 3-point shooter. Okay, you can help off of Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday is a 40% catch and shoot 3-point shooter. Can't help off of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. So these are the problems that Boston creates just by the construction of their team. It's really hard to help. Giannis does a good job there of sliding down, but Giannis, because Lopez has to help over, Lopez does the right thing, helping over. Giannis can be as long as he is, and he's still in a 1-on-2 in the NBA on the weak side, and he has to make a decision on who he wants to cut off from 3. They choose Horford. It's hard. It's really, really hard. They present a million problems for you, Boston. I don't love that closeout from Giannis, but part of that is just Boston. So here, I put this one on. This is, I believe, a zone possession for what it's worth. I think. Let me check that before I say that again. I'm actually not convinced this is a zone possession. I thought it was originally. I don't think it's zone, actually. I think they're just in man and trying to double Tatum. Again, Derek White's a big-time 3-point shooter. If you close out low there, it's probably going to be hard. He takes this shot. The thing I want to call out here is the rebounding on the weak side. So Giannis's man is Jordan Walsh. I get that he's trying to be available and help when Portis is on the court, and Portis isn't the best defender on the interior, but you just can't lose track of Jordan Walsh that badly. You have to at least kind of know where he is. And again, like Bobby Portis, like kind of boxes. Actually, no. Look at Tillman. Tillman, like kind of gets his body on Giannis here to kind of move him away. But again, Giannis gets free from that pretty early and just is completely lost track of Jordan Walsh there. So there's just a lot to clean up for Milwaukee at the end of the day. They have to figure things out in an immense way defensively. It's been a total mess so far. And again, Dame, 33 points on 15 field goal attempts because he gets to the line 18 times. Giannis goes 30, 10, and 6 tonight, but he has 7 turnovers. Not ideal. The other game that I watched tonight was I watched a bit of Denver and Toronto. I'm not going to sit here and break anything down. I didn't watch the whole game. I watched like a bit of the third quarter, and then I watched the end of the fourth and overtime. Like Nikola Jokic just absolutely saved them again, just saving the Denver Nuggets ass for the second straight night. They didn't get the win in their previous game, but Jokic goes 18 for 27 tonight, has 10 rebounds, 4 assists, and drops another 40 spot. Again, the starters basically fine tonight outside of Michael Porter. They put Porter in with the bench unit, so I'm guessing that Porter's plus minus numbers are going to be pretty wonky all season, especially at the first chance there. Guys, they tried Saric again in the first half. -9 in 5 minutes. Then the second half, they went to Gordon being like the backup 5. They're going to have to figure out what to do with Dario because I think he's cooked. I don't think he can play at this level anymore. All due respect to Dario. He's had a long career and fought back from like a really tough injury, but I certainly don't think he can play center in the NBA at this point. Peyton Watson continues to shoot poorly, 1 for 5 again tonight. Strother made a couple of threes again. But yeah, Jokic was the savior here. Jokic absolutely saved the Nuggets ass and stopped them from going 0-3 and losing to a Toronto team that is 1-3 and does not look awesome. Let's go with. To me, Toronto does not look like a play-in team, but they have some fun players that I enjoy watching, like Scotty Barnes and RJ Barrett had 20 tonight. It was a inefficient 20, but he had 20 nonetheless. I mean, Jamal Shed was unbelievable. Like Jamal Shed is like a change of pace guard. Obviously, he's not as counted upon as Scotty Barnes and RJ Barrett. I thought Jamal Shed was fantastic tonight off the bench. Has 5 assists, has a couple of makes around the basket. Just was really effective, I thought, in his little stretch there. Was a huge reason why I felt like, in general, Toronto's bench unit got the better of Denver. But this is another game where Denver's bench unit was just a significant problem. Real issues right now in Denver with that bench unit. I mean, anything else? Like I watched like a little bit of Houston, San Antonio. I'm probably going to go back and watch more of that. Jalen Green was fantastic. Again, he just had one of those nights where you can't, not only can you not stay in front of him, but he drilled threes all over the place. He had 36. Jeremy Sohan had 22. You can go watch the breakdown we did on Jeremy Sohan last night on this channel. Sohan has been terrific to start the season for the San Antonio Spurs. I have loved his game. He has been one of my favorite players to watch so far in the NBA this season. 9 rebounds, 4 assists as well. Wemby didn't have like a particularly great night, especially in the first half. Turned it around in the second half, but goes for 20 rebounds, but 14 points. Didn't feel like he shot super well in the stuff that I watched in that game. That's all I got. Cleveland beats New York. I would love to have watched that. I just kind of ran out of time. Dallas beats Utah 110-102. Sacramento gets a win against Portland. Washington, I believe, picked up its first win of the season as well. Shout out to the Washington Wizards. Don't think there are going to be a crazy amount of those wins this season. So when they can get them, we should celebrate them. Poole had 26, Kuzma 25, Kispert 21. Just looking at the box score, looks like Bub Carrington had a nice little day. I might have to go back and watch that. Excited to see the Washington Wizards get a win, folks. Also, as Roberto Ariza shouts out, Taylor Hendricks suffered what looks like a very bad leg injury. We wish him the best. We hope that Taylor Hendricks, we hope that, what looks like a very, very bad injury is hopefully not as bad as we think it is. Best wishes to Taylor Hendricks, who it seemed like was really starting to give a little bit of something to Utah after being drafted 7th overall last season. His length, his athleticism, his shooting ability. Really, really, really have high hopes for Taylor Hendricks here moving forward. But unfortunately, we're going to have to see what happens there. Okay. That's all we got tonight. 1 hour. We're not doing the 2 hour thing. We're not going crazy. I do not think I will stream again tomorrow night. It would take something insane in the New Orleans game for me to go live tomorrow night. My guess is the next time you will see me will be on Wednesday. We will probably podcast on Thursday, be it with Bryce or with somebody else. Not sure what Bryce's schedule is yet. Have not talked to him about that. But my guess is that you will see me on a stream again on Wednesday. And I'm very, very excited to go through more tape and to keep doing these late night streams with you guys. So that's it. Until next time. Hold on here. We got to shout out GMAC in the Game Theory social media channels. Game Theory Sam V. Follow on Twitter, X, Instagram, TikTok, whatever social media platforms you're using. Please go follow. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel, Game Theory Podcast with Sam Vecenie. There should be a nice little icon in the bottom right corner. If you like the way that I talk about basketball, please go subscribe. That's all we got for tonight. Until next time, we'll talk soon. Bye.